What's going on, everybody, man? And welcome to Let's Talk Heroes and Villains, the podcast where we don't just talk about superheroes, we talk about the gods of their universes. And today we are leaving the streets behind and rocketing into the stars. When it comes to the cosmos, who truly rules it all? Marvel has its titans, DC has its gods, and Phenom Comics, yeah, you already know, we brought a force older than history itself. This is the strongest cosmic character of all time, so let's talk about it. Before we declare anyone being the ultimate cosmic powerhouse, we need a set of rules. What makes someone the strongest? You know what I mean? So here is the criteria. Excuse me. Number one, raw power. How much energy can they manipulate, create, or destroy? Number two, existence level control. Can they warp reality, universes, or time? Number three, we got to talk about feats. Have they performed actions that change the multiverse? That's the fact. And then we got number four, intellect and will. Cosmic power isn't just strength. It's knowing how to use it. Okay, and then we have the last one, which is 5, and that's durability. Could they tank, survive, or recover from multiversal level destruction? Can they survive, recover, or tank from multiversal level destruction? So, hey, we know we got to get into this whole thing. It's only right to do so, so we're going to talk about it. But obviously, we're going to go by different contenders, obviously. So, let's start with Marvel's top cosmic beings. No, we're not talking about Thor or Captain Marvel. We're talking about the gods above gods. No knock to Thor or Captain Marvel. Can you consider her a god? She can go toe to toe with guys, but I wouldn't put her in that. I don't think I can put her in that category. You guys let me know. Thor, on the other hand, is a whole nother animal. Now, but let's be honest. Thor's a god, but if we're going above that, we talking about above either Odin or above. That's just what it's gonna be. So first from Marvel, we're going to talk about Galactus, the devourer of worlds. You already know it. Power, cosmic energy manipulation, world devouring, matter energy control. Feats, consumes planets to sustain life, wields the power of cosmic. His weaknesses, though, needs to feed and can be weakened if starved. Now, his legacy, a universal force of balance, neither a hero or villain. Can you guys agree with that? You know what I mean? Next from Marvel is the living Tribunal. I had to put him in here because I feel like it was only right to do so. So we're going to talk about the living Tribunal because it's a lot that I didn't know about him as well. But once I actually started reading more about it and I actually did more research on who the living Tribunal is, man, I was just like, wow. You know what I mean? But anyway, power, multiversal overseer, judge of reality. Those are one of the things for the living Tribunal. Then we got to talk about feats, obviously. Can nullify infinity stones, erase universes, and balance cosmic forces. That's what it is on that. Now we got to talk about weaknesses. What's his weakness? None. He has no weaknesses except the mysterious one above all. The one above all, the true God of Marvel. Yeah, we had to go there, but we're going to really kind of, leave that where it's at, so for now. But, you know what I'm saying? But his legacy, though, essentially the judge of existence and the final word in cosmic disputes. Let me repeat that. Essentially the judge of existence, the final word in cosmic disputes. That's the legacy that the living tribunal leaves. All right. So what is the verdict on the Marvel side of the cosmic world? While Galactus is iconic, the living tribunal is Marvel's true cosmic apex. The living tribunal is Marvel's true cosmic apex. All right. So we're going to move on. The next contenders is the DC contenders. Now, DC's cosmic roster is equally terrifying. Let's just look at their heavy hitters. You know what I mean? So let's look at what they can do, because DC ain't no slouch either. So number one, we have the Spectre, Wrath of God. Power, nigh omnipotent, reality manipulation, time travel, and resurrection. Feats, destroyed entire timelines, man. Avenged cosmic scale crimes, even battle angels and devils. Now, before I continue on that, man, one thing I can say, when I first got introduced to the Spectre, I didn't know who in the hell he was, if I'm being honest. I think the first time I actually heard about the Spectre, when I paid attention, like I knew about him, but I never really paid attention to who the Spectre was until I actually seen DC's showcase. It was, I think, like mini series where they actually showed some of their characters and they talked about their characters. Where Spectre was one of the episodes. So you may want to look up DC's showcase, and they're going to talk about the Spectre. And when they showed that, and I saw who the Spectre was, and they showed his powers, man, he's very that's a scary individual, a scary individual. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. But anyway, we're gonna move on. Then we got to obviously talk about weaknesses. One thing about the Spectre is he needs a human host to fully function. Now, if you know about the Spectre, you know that he needs a human host in order for him to function properly at full strength. Am I wrong about that? Can't be. You know what I'm saying? And then, excuse me, then we got to talk about the Anti-Monitor. That's the next candidate on the DC side. Now, the Anti-Monitor is another dude that you cannot mess with like that, man. But honestly, I like to, he's one of them characters that he's a big deal, okay? But we're going to talk about powers. He's a universe-devouring, antimatter manipulation, and multiversal destruction. His feats cause the crisis of infinite Earths. If you don't know about the crisis of infinite Earths, if you're a comic book reading or you rather watch the cartoon, they actually have, I think, a 3 or 4 part movie series right now going. That's already out that you can watch. That's the Crisis of Infinite Earths. That does involve the Anti-Monitor. That involves every other hero in multiverses that had to come together to beat him. Also, wiping countless universes from existence. That's why he's a big deal. He's a big threat. Now, his weaknesses: vulnerable to combined cosmic forces, but rarely defeated. That's a big deal. So, what's the verdict on DC? I have to go with the Spectre. The Spectre edges out the Anti-Monitor due to sheer divine authority and reality-bending scope. That's exactly why the Spectre beats the Anti-Monitor. If you guys disagree with that, we can talk about it in the comments. But I'm choosing this. That's the Spectre. If you agree with what I said, hey, y'all know what to do. I gave y'all a rundown on who the Anti-Monitor is on top of the Spectre, and as far as I'm concerned, man, the Spectre has that. All right. So obviously, one thing about what we gotta do on the Phenom Comics channel, we're gonna sit up here and talk about these type of characters. I want to introduce you guys to another of one of my characters that you guys do not know about yet, but being on this channel, if you liking and you subscribing to this channel, you're gonna hear some names you never heard before, but understand that they're under the Phenom Comics umbrella. So that's what we're gonna talk about. The Phenom Comics contender. And now, Phenom Comics Titan, the Father, leader of the Firstborn. Now, the Father isn't just a godlike being. He's the source of all hyperhumans. Now, the hyperhumans is also another one of my creative races in Phenom Comics and everything, similar to the mutants and X-Men or the metahumans. Hyperhumans are my guys. Those are my guys. That's my race of people in Phenom Comics world. So you heard it here first. Power, near omnipotent control over matter, energy, and life itself. Feats, shaped early Earth civilizations, vanished to explore the origins of existence, and is set to return to judge all modern hyperhumans. Now, again, for those who don't, obviously you don't know nothing about the Father and anything, but I'm going to let you guys know now. I wanted to base the Father off of Apocalypse. You know, he was the first mutant he's supposed the first mutant in the X-Men universe in Marvel. So I figured something like that, you know, I wanted to be more with the Father, like somewhat of a mix of Apocalypse and Darkseid as for who the Father is. So, and again, he is the leader of the firstborn race, the firstborn entities of the hyperhuman race. So they're considered as gods. Obviously, there's more than one. The Father is the leader of that, but we'll get into that later. You know what I mean? But anyway, his legacy. The Father doesn't just want to rule. He wants to reset evolution itself. Let me repeat that. The Father does not want to rule. He wants to reset evolution itself. In terms of raw energy, he's comparable to Marvel's Living Tribunal and DC's Spectre. Now you see what I mean. You see what I mean. All right. So we're going to move on to feats, power feats and battles. Imagine this battle. The Living Tribunal, judge of all Marvel universes, the Spectre, divine wrath of DC, and the Father, the origin god of Phenom's hyperhumans. Who takes it? You know what I mean? The Living Tribunal dominates the multiversal level judgment. The Spectre could match its divine might with raw, holy energy. And the Father introduces something new, mastery over life itself, including cosmic evolution. Now, who stands above all? We gotta talk about that. While all three are cosmic juggernauts, I believe the throne comes down to the Living Tribunal versus the Father. I mean, why not? And I'm not being biased here. I'm actually just, I'm being honest about this whole thing, you know, but if it had to come down to it, it'll be the Living Tribunal versus the Father. The Living Tribunal might win in pure multiversal scope, but the Father's ability to create, reshape, and erase life at its root makes him the wild card that could break the balance. I mean, why not? So, you know, I think it makes sense. So, yeah, man. I think if it had to come down to it, bruh, I'm going to choose the Father. Yeah. Hey, you get to choose who you want to choose, man. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to do here. But who do you think is the ultimate cosmic powerhouse? You know what I mean? Drop your answers in the comments. Is it Galactus? Is it the Living Tribunal, the Spectre, or the Father? Oh, and best believe you guys will know who the father is soon. You know, one thing about Phenom, man, we're going to continue to make this move, and we're going to move in the long haul. So best believe that's going to happen. And don't forget to subscribe, to like, subscribe, and share this episode. And also hit that notification bell, man, so you will be notified for future videos. Not just the podcast itself, but updates on comic releases or, you know, any trailers or anything like that. Because best believe, man, Phenom, this is going, we're going to make this a thing. Best believe that. It's a thing now, or it's going to get bigger. Best believe it. Y'all got my word on that. Okay? So, because next time, we're going to go dark with the greatest villain of all time. Now, you know I got to go with that, man. Hey, the greatest villain of all time is the next episode. That's episode 5. So don't forget to subscribe on that. And if y'all know, who's y'all favorite villain? Who's y'all favorite villain of all time, man? We're going to talk about it in the next video next week. Again, like, subscribe, and share, man. I salute y'all. Also, again, hit that notification bell, and I will holler at y'all in the next video. Peace.